Okay, on the single sheet, you got greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. So we're going to start this off just by doing something pretty simple. It says write an inequality that represents each verbal expression. X is less than or equal to -7, so it says less than or equal. Okay, that's the less than or equal to sign. And you put -7, and then you just put X. Pretty. Okay, the p variable is greater than 1.5, so greater than 1.5. Don't put the line under, it's just greater than, then you put the p variable. The difference of k and 6 is greater than 13, so it says greater than 13. Now I put the variable k down, but k has an operation with it. It's a difference, which means minus, so after the k you put -6. Okay, it's got to be k minus 6, not 6 minus k. The sum of x and 7 is less than or equal to -3, so here's less than or equal to -3. So I put x down. Now there's an operation between the x and the 7. Sum means it's addition, so x plus 7 is less than or equal to -3. Okay, and then last, the product of b and 10 is greater than 50. So there's greater than, and then 50. And then we put the variable b down. With a product, the operation means times. You can put dot 10. I would prefer you just put the 10 in front of the b if it's multiplication, not put the dot, but whatever. It's either 10b or b dot 10. There, that's it for that one. Now, on to the next one part. Determine whether, sorry about the 5th grade handwriting there, that's me. Determine whether the number is a solution to the inequality. We have an inequality. We have 2 times x plus 1 is greater than -3. We have to decide if when we put -1 in for x, we have a value that's greater than -3. Okay? So what I do is I just substitute the -1 in place of the x. You got 2 times, and then put -1 in for x, plus 1 greater than -3. So first over here you have to times first. 2 times -1 is -2, so we have -2 plus 1 greater than -3. Then we add these two together. -2 plus 1 is -1. Now, what's a bigger number? What's a bigger quantity, -1 or -3? Well, when I have two negatives, the lesser extreme one's your greater number, and since it eats that number, it's yes, that is a solution. Okay, -1 greater than -3. At the end of the problem, it needs to eat the bigger number. Okay, -1's bigger, it eats -1, so I write yes. If it eats a smaller number, you write no. Okay, 13 plus -7 times y is less than or equal to 6. Now I substitute 1 in place of the y. So you have 13 plus -7 times 1 less than or equal to 6. So first I times -1 times 7, that's -7. So I have 13 plus -7 less than or equal to 6. And we add these two, that's 6, less than or equal to 6. Now the numbers are equal. 6 is less than or equal to 6. Well, if the numbers are equal, if I have that line there, it's a yes. If that line wasn't there, it's a no. Okay? So I'm looking for, if the numbers are equal, I don't care what it eats, I'm looking for the equals to line. And if it's there, it's a yes. Okay, -4 times x minus 3 is greater than or equal to -7. So I replace the x with 5. Okay, so first you multiply -4 times 5 is -20. So we have -20 plus -3 greater than or equal to -17. Combine those two, you're at -23. So -23 greater than or equal to -17. Which one's they're both negative, so which one's the bigger number? Negative 17 is bigger than negative 23. When I have two negatives, the lesser extreme is a bigger one. But it's not eating that number like it's supposed to. Remember, it's always eat the bigger number, so that's a no. Okay, that's not a solution. Okay, next problem. 10 minus, don't put plus negative if there's just an x. You will plus negative after we put the number in for the x. Okay? 10 minus x divided by x is less than or equal to negative 60. So I substitute 0.2 for x here and here at the same time. So 10 minus 0.2, now you can put plus negative, divided by 0.2. Don't put plus negative on a variable when you're putting a number in for the variable. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is add these two, 10 plus negative 0.2, that's going to be 9.8. So we have negative 60, then we take a calculator and divide 9.8 by 0.2. 49. Okay. So I have a positive 49 and a negative 60. Well, a positive is always bigger than a negative, but it's not eating that, so that is a no. Okay. All right, that's that part. Now it says graph each inequality. When it says graph an inequality, you're going to set up a number line. These is easy to do. Just make 0. Always put 0 in the middle. Okay. And then this is called your critical number. It says x is less than 1. So I put 1 down on the side where it would go, which would be the right side since it's positive. I circle. I don't fill in the circle. You fill in the circle if you have equal to, but you just have the less than. There is no equal, so you leave the circle open. And that right there is a less than sign, so it's all the numbers less than 1, so it would go this way. That's all you do. A, the variable a is greater than or equal to 0. Okay. So 0 is the actual number. So I circle. I will be filling in the circle there because the equals to line is there. So you can be actually equal to 0, which is why you fill it, and that's a greater than sign. So all numbers greater than 0 go this way. Now the next one, you have to be careful. If the variable comes after the number in the sentence, you need to reorder the inequality. Okay? See here I have number, or I have variable, number, variable, number. Now I got the number variable. Don't ever graph when you have a number followed by a variable. What you do is you flip the sign, because negative 2 greater than or equal to x, so I flip the sign, then I can put x first and negative 2. Because it's negative 2 is greater than x, and x would be less than negative 2. Okay, so you have to reorder that. Don't ever graph an inequality when the variable is not listed first. So negative 2, circle, fill it. It's less than, so it would go this way. Okay. The f variable is greater than negative 3. So what I'm doing on a number line is simply graphing all the possible values for f. I have the variable and the number. We don't need to reorder it. Circle, don't fill it. That's a greater than. F can be any number greater than negative 3. So then it would go that way. Okay, next one. 8 greater than or equal to b. Well, to graph the representation of b, I want b before the 8. So I flip the sign and then put b and 8. Because this represents the possible values for the variable. Okay. All right, that's a less than, so it would go this way. And I'm filling it in because the equal to lines there. Okay, the variable x is greater than or equal to negative 2. So I'm graphing all the numbers that x could possibly be so that you're greater than or equal to negative 2. Circle, fill it, because the line's there. Greater than obviously takes it this way. Okay, negative 9 is less than or equal to c. Well, the graph's for the c, so I want c, the negative 9, and then the sign has to flip. Okay, so I cross that out. So that problem had to be reordered. Again, because what your graph represents is the possible values for the variable. You can't do that unless a variable comes first. Fill it, that's a greater than sign, so that would take us this way. Okay, the variable a greater than or equal to negative 20, so I'm graphing all the numbers represented by a. Number line 0, just put your negative 20 on the negative side. And if a is greater than negative 20, a could be all the numbers going this way. Okay, so on that problem, you need to reorder some of them. Okay, the graph represents the variable values. The variable needs to come first. If it doesn't, you flip the sign and reorder it. Okay, write an inequality for each graph. This is easy. Pick a variable. It doesn't matter. I'll just use x. Okay, it's going this way, so that would be less than 3. It's open circle, leave it. X, negative 2. That's this way. That'd be greater than. Okay. X, and then going this way is less than or equal to, because it's filled in, 0. Okay. X, going this way is greater than. It needs the equals to sign 1. Okay. Easy. Okay, next problem. Write an inequality that describes a situation. You're going to want to flip this single sheet to the back side. Okay, this is not hard. Inequality. So prices for a ride start at $19.99. Okay, so I'm going to use this variable you're given off this side. So put R $19.99. Now, starting at $19.99 is they start at $19.99 and go up. So here's starting at, so that would be greater than or equal to. That's all you do, because you can be equal to $19.99 or greater. The speed limit on the interstate is 75 miles per hour, so I'm going to use an S variable and 75. Okay, now a limit means you could be 75, but then a limit means only less than, okay? Less than or equal to. A person must be at least 35 years old to be elected President of the United States. We're using A for the variable, 35. Now, at least, that means you start at 35 and you're greater than that, greater than or equal to 35. Every object on Earth travels less than 186,000 miles per second. So V with 186,000, the relationship is at less than. Okay, so it's just the less than sign without the equals. Okay, that's it. Okay, these next problems are not hard. You're not solving, you're just writing an inequality. My goal is to earn $300 selling cookies and donuts. Cookies cost 50 cents each. I don't know how many cookies there are, so we're going to represent that with a C variable. Donuts are 75 cents each. We don't know how many donuts there are, so we represent that with a D variable. Write an inequality to represent my goal. Now, the word goal, you can start at a goal or you could exceed it. So we use the greater than or equal to symbol right there, goal. My goal is 300. You need to put that all by itself. $300. Now, how are we going to get to our goal? Well, we're going to sell cookies for 50 cents. Give yourself some room. Don't go right against the side because you're selling two things, the cookies and the donuts. Now, we don't know how many cookies we're selling, so I multiply this by the C variable. Plus, I'm also going to be selling donuts for 75 cents each. But I don't know how many of those I sell, so I multiply that by a D variable, and that's the answer. Okay. Okay, my goal, it's a goal is to earn $1,000 selling t-shirts and hoodies. T-shirts cost $9.99 each with T. Hoodies are $20 each, and the number of hoodies are represented by H. Write an inequality to represent the goal. So the word goal would be greater than or equal to, and that's 1,000. Okay, so the two things I'm doing to reach my goal, well, t-shirts cost $9.99 times T. Hoodies, you're also selling those for $20. times h. There you go. Okay, and then last one. So this goes pretty quickly. You know how to solve these problems. You just need to write the answer in the form of an inequality. That's all you have to do. 5 pounds of pasta salad serves 14 people. We have is highlighted so I know what inequality symbol to put down there. You have 17.5 pounds of salad. Write an inequality that represents how many people we can serve with what we have. Okay? Alright, it says people. I'll just use a P down there. Now I'm going to set this up the same way I have been. We have people, pounds and people. Okay? So it flat out says that pounds is X, people's Y. So per would be expressed as people per pound. Well, we don't have the people per pound. Now I could find it by dividing 14 by 5, but that won't be necessary here. XY, remember X is pounds, the pounds unit, and Y is the people unit. So 0. But I don't go 1, 2. I know that 5 pounds serves 14 people, and I know I have 17.5 pounds, and I'm trying to find how many people this serves. Now, if you have 0 pounds, 0 people are eating. So again, that means we use those proportions that we used on the last assessment. Okay. So remember, it's Y over X. Remember, Y is people in this problem, and X is pounds. So 14 over 5. Then the question mark, you can pick any variable you want, doesn't matter. You can even put the question mark if you want, 17.5. So then I cross multiply and divide, okay? So 14 times 17.5 divided by 5 is 49. So I put 49 down here with my P. P stands for people. Now, the word have, if you have something, you could be equal to that or less than, okay? Because I could have some left over. So I can be equal to 49 people or less than or equal to 49 people, okay? You just need to do the same thing. You just write that answer in the form of an inequality. Okay, and the last problem. A florist is making centerpieces. 5 centerpieces, X, require 24 roses. We're going to be represented with Y. We have 96 roses. Write an inequality for how many centerpieces you can make. Okay, you need to solve the problem and write the answer with an inequality. So we'll use C for centerpieces, and I'll need to find the value. So we got just put CP in roses. So again, centerpieces is X, roses is Y. Then when I go per, that's roses per centerpiece. And we don't have that information. If somebody put a gun to my head, I could divide 24 by 5. But that we don't need to find that really because the 0, 0 at the top. So centerpieces, roses. Okay, so 5 centerpieces needs 24 roses. 96 roses, and I don't know how many centerpieces that's going to take. But if we have 0 centerpieces to make, we don't need any roses. So that means it's a proportion. So Y, X. So Y is roses, and X is centerpieces, so it's 24 over 5. And then 96 over the, either make up a variable or put a question mark. It doesn't matter, okay? So I can easily just cross multiply and divide. 5 times 96 divided by 24. I got 20. So the centerpieces are equal to 20. Now, look at that have. So if you have 96 roses, you could definitely be equal to 20, but you could also make less than 20 and have roses left over. Okay? And that's why goal, when you set a goal that's greater than or equal, when you have something that's less than or equal.